I was a bad, bad, bad boy today. Um, a comic show came into town. It's one that comes around, I don't know, at least a couple times a year. And it's been growing a little bit. Um, so I went and I before I went, I hit up the ATM. I'm like, okay, this is what I have to spend today because um, I spent a lot recently, as those of you who've been watching my videos know. Like, I have to be careful. But man, the drug of filling a run, it's man, I tap that vein. It's tough, and there are a number of people that vendors at this show that like I know personally, and it's the first time I've been to any sort of show since I decided to work on the Daredevil run. So like, man, it's gonna be bad. I just didn't know how bad. I mean, good, but bad. But they're like, I don't like one, two, three, four. There's like five vendors that like I know personally that were there, and I know that they're gonna have stuff that I'm looking for. They're gonna work with me really well, and they did. But all right, so I don't even know where to like. I have stacks of books here that you can't see. Um, I'll start with non Daredevil stuff. So, uh, I I I collect Dungeons and Dragons books as well, and there was one person, one a vendor there, that they had like four, um, 3.5 edition books, and I only needed one of them. They had the expanded Psionic Handbook, and it was priced pretty decently. It's in awesome shape. So I wanted to get that, and I don't like if I'm gonna make an offer on something, I hate just having one thing. Like I want to be able to you know buy more because it makes it easier to get a good deal. So they also had a handful of plops. I have plop one. Like and these covers are just bonkers. It's a comedy mag. It's a DC comedy mag, in the vein of like, you know, Mad and whatever they did it around this time, 1970s. But the covers are just they're so much fun. There's weird stuff. So I from the same person that had the D&D book, there was Plop 3. They had a 2, but I didn't like the shape it was in. So 3, 4. Look at this, just weird. 4, 5. Gross. Then we jumped to 12. Also gross. It's that. What's that? That like you don't like looking at holes in things. Like it kind of triggers that. 13. 14. 15. And 19. So I guess I'm collecting plop now. There's 24 issues total. I have one, and then now one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 9 of 24. And it's not like they're like super expensive or anything. I do love these covers. And I would like to go in and read them and just kind of see what the humor was in comedy mags at this time. Would be fun. But yeah, I was thinking about getting these anyway, and then I saw this. Like, oh yeah, if I'm gonna get this, I'll pick those up too. And they gave me a wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, but we were close enough, so we were able to work it out. Um, let's see. So this, they're all still separated kind of like by vendor. This this person I work with quite a bit. He always does very well by me. He didn't have a lot of Daredevils. He had 2 Daredevils, but they were like in his like 50% off bin. So like, okay, and they're Bronze Age Daredevils. So 123 and 129. 129, yeah. Only the 2 Daredevils, but he also had one of the Image Turtles that I need. These are hard to get, number 16. And I think all I have left of this, and I always forget, but there's 23, 24, 25. I think a couple of those are actually not real. They're like they are only out like online or something. I can't never remember what it is, but I need 23, 24, 25 if those do in fact actually exist. I have to go back and look. But if they do, because I think they came out online and then they did have like later they did like a small print of them, so they're super super rare. Let's see. Then he had Green Lantern number 50, which is the first appearance of Parallax, which is cool. It's a cheap, very, very minor key. I can see it was priced at $10. Nothing major. And he had this, which I really liked. So Mayhem number 1. So this is the first appearance of this iteration of the Mask. The character himself appeared 2 years earlier of the Mask, but it was spelled Masque. This is the first The Mask Mask. But it was a good price, and it's a really, really sharp looking copy. So, I mean, especially in a Mylar, but everything was good in Mylar. So I picked that up from him. And then, one more thing. Because it was like, here's a run of the Wolf Pack. Or I guess just Wolf Pack. It's 12 issues for $5. Okay. All right. Like, how do you beat that? How do you beat a 12-issue run of something fun to read for $5? So I picked that up as well. So that's another vendor. Then there's one that only had a couple of things that I needed because I'm bouncing around of like taking notes of who has what Daredevils and like put these aside for me, I'll be back, and put these aside for me, I'll be back. All said and done, he had 250, not a big deal, but it did have number 179 for a reasonable price. Had it marked at $20 and in decent shape. I was seeing much more beat up copies of these going for more, so or much more beat up for around the same price. So like, you know what, this is good. So was able to get those 2 off of him. Let's see. I got a stack off of this person, and again, he worked with me pretty well. He's like, "Are you, you know?" I paid cash. Was I'm missing something. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a pretty good stack off of him, and he cut me a good deal. So we're getting some older ones. So, and it's all Daredevil. Daredevil 46, 80, annual 3 basically. 95. This Bronze Age stuff is some good stuff. 102, 103, 112, 118, 114, 116, 119, 126, 130. It's a cool cover. 154, 160. Anything with bullseye on, especially on the cover, is going for. But I was seeing other people sell this book for like $45. He had it marked at 25. 169, same bullseye cover. 170, 171, and 317, 318, and oh, this man, I've been looking for this thing for a long time. For my Deadpool run. This is actually technically it's Daredevil 97, but it's weird. I think it's counted more as the Daredevil annual, but it's Deadpool as well. It's not like an expensive book, or it's just I haven't been able to find it. So this is a double whammy. It counts for both my Deadpool run and my Daredevil run. I was really so happy to see that. So that's all from that vendor. Then I had one of my friends that works the circuits. I'd let him know that I was starting a Daredevil run, and he was cool enough to be like, "Hey, let me look through my Daredevil stuff and see what I have, and I'll bring it for you to take a look at." And I did. It didn't end up being a whole lot, but that's definitely some good stuff. So I have that -1, 73, 47. They're a nice low number there. 127 and 103. And then he also had a couple of other books I was interested in. Thor 133. It's the first full appearance of Ego, the Living Planet. I have his actual first appearance, which is like cameo, but I can't remember if he's on the cover of that. But for the first, not the like first appearance, but it was in good shape and a good price. And this book, I always wanted to get it, but just never found the right price or right deal on it. But the Free Comic Book Day Umbrella Academy, so it's the first appearance of the Umbrella Academy, which is great. So I got that from him, and he cut me a good deal. We do a lot of business together. Let's see. Believe it or not, I'm not done yet. Then let's see. All right. So there's one other vendor that had a handful of stuff. There was some other stuff that he had that I think we were too far apart on price. So I trimmed it down, and we were able to come to a deal. So we have 78, 55, 121, 159, and volume 251. He had a volume 255. I think was the biggest one. We were on a price that we're apart. So I left that one behind. And there, I think maybe a couple other Bronze Age books that I think were priced a little bit too high and we couldn't come to a deal on, which is fine. I mean, I definitely got plenty. And one more. This is my biggest stack, my most expensive stack, which makes sense. And this, again, someone else that I knew that I've worked with before. He worked with me really well on this because he had gotten a bunch of Daredevils a while ago, and he's had them for a while. And you know, the market is a lot different right now than it was, God, even a few months ago, let alone, you know, a year ago or whatever when he got these. So what they were priced at was just nowhere near what they were going for anymore. So I just kind of went through and priced them what I think that was a good price, and kind of went off that and gave him an offer. And you know, he took it. We made a deal. I think I felt kind of bad because, like, I don't think that I like ripped him off or anything. It's just that these books were worth a lot more not that long ago, and it's like, man, sorry, man, like I want these books, but I'm not gonna overpay for what they're going for now. And like he understood, he was cool about it. It's just I kind of I felt bad. But anyway, some other nice low ones, some Silver Age stuff, 33, and a lot of these are like in really good shape too. It's just that these, even though these are older books, like Silver Age books, if it's not a key, and especially Daredevil, right? I mean, yes, your Amazing Spider-Man's, even non-key books go for quite a bit because it's Spider-Man, but Daredevil, like even Daredevil keys are, they're not huge, right? His biggest villain, Kingpin, his first appearance is in Spider-Man, right? So, and of course Bullseye is in there, but some of these small ones, like, here's 36. 39 is like the first, what's it, like Exterminator or something, like, I guess that's a key, but it's, who cares? you know? So even his quote unquote keys aren't going for a lot. Like 58 for Stuntmaster. Who cares? Even that's just maybe a $25 book at most. So, but some of these are in really, really good shape for how old they are. So 40, 41, it's kind of a weird cover, like, 48, cool Stiltman cover. 51, 52, fun Black Panther book. The white's really, really white. It's a good looking book. 58, saw that before for Stuntmaster. 59. And this is a minor key. It's the first appearance of a couple of people that maybe showed up again. This is number 59. This was, I think he had this price at like $15, which just goes to show, like, even a key lowish number Daredevil is, which he priced a year ago or whatever, is not that much. 63, which is why I was like, you know what, this run, it's definitely feasible. There's nothing real huge in it. The biggest book that I need out of it is number 2, which at most is going to be like a $500 book. So it's not like, which, I mean, that's not nothing, obviously, but it, compared to, the Hulk run that I put together, there's tons of books in there that are more than $500, or 500 or more. So it was a little more feasible. 65, can't remember if I did that one already. 84, 85, 89, 93, 97. And getting into some of the Bronze Age stuff, this stuff was priced pretty well, even for today's standards. It was just some of that silver stuff, I think, was higher. This one I also felt kind of bad about, just because of like what it used to be versus what it is now. 115. So this has an ad for Wolverine 180, or no, Hulk 181 in it. So people were like, "Oh, cool," but now it's like, "Oh, that's," because people are like specking on stuff like that. Like people who can't get an actual 181, hey, here's the advertisement for it, and like it didn't pan out, right? Like, oh, turns out no one really cares. It goes for a little bit more than the books around it that don't have anything going for it, but it's nowhere near what it was before. And this is in really good shape. I'm glad to have this book in really good shape. It's just, it's not what it was, and what he had it priced at versus what I looked it up it's less than half. It was less than half of what he had priced for. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like I totally believe that was a good price on it at one time, but not now. 120, 125, 135, and Volume 2, Number 5. This is really cool. So this is, spoiler alert, the death of Karen Page, but this is a variant cover, and just a really cool looking variant cover. Like, that's great. I didn't have number 5 at all, so this, yeah, I'll take, this is what is that, Caseta and Palmiotti. Again, yeah, that priced at 30, and now it's like a $15 book, even the variant cover. But man, that's super super cool. That might be something that's, it's in good shape. It's not like high grade, but it's probably in the nines. That might be something that's worth grading just because it looks so cool. But that's it, and I haven't done the full count of how many books total. But no, let's look at Daredevils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Is this fun for you? 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 50. 58 Daredevils today. Oof. 58 Daredevils. And some good, some lower numbers, like 33. I mean, some Silver Age stuff in there. A lot of it's filler. The Bronze Age stuff, that's, some of that stuff is, especially for the condition that I got it in, is not nothing books. I'm excited about the plops. It's the run that I didn't know that I needed. But yeah, and I think that gets my Daredevil run down to, I need in like 80 some in the 80s. Still kind of all over the place. Those late 300s are still kind of tough because it was lower print run. Obviously those in the 10s, I don't have a lot in that range. But if I look at, I think I almost have everything, all the hundreds. Yeah, I need a 101 and a 105. After that, I'll have everything that's the hundreds. That's pretty good. So, yeah. Just, sorry. But yeah, I got overwhelmed. There was so much great stuff that I needed, and I was able to make such good deals. I shouldn't have spent as much as I did today, but it's like, I couldn't resist, just because I was able to, just like, it's, I don't know, I'm an addict. That's not new information. But now I need to do some organizing and rebagging and boarding on some of these, except I don't think I have enough bags and boards, but that's a me problem. Anyway, yeah, it was a great show. I definitely picked up more than I intended, spent way more than I intended or should have, but it is what it is. And I don't think there's another show coming around for quite a while, so well, at least hopefully there's not another show coming around for quite a while, I guess. Oof. I don't know if I could take it. But yeah, that's all. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Let me know what sort of conventions you're seeing around, what runs you're collecting. Always interested to know what people are doing out there. So like, subscribe, all that stuff, and of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.